everybody. Welcome to a brand new episode of The Rich Life. I am your host, BRich. Here on The Rich Life podcast, I want you to have a rich mind, rich body, and a rich spirit. On this episode, we're going to do a little diving. So, as I mentioned in the episode previous, and one of my main goals right now is creating content. And sometimes it's hard to bring content because you worry about what people will say, or sometimes it could just be as simple as I'm not making enough. Because just the idea of it can just be so overwhelming because you want to bring content that is informational, you want your content to be entertaining, and you want it to be consistent. So those things, if you don't plan ahead, can be overwhelming. So if you don't know, I'm a Christian, and there is this thing called the Bible app. And in the Bible app, there are different Bible plans that you can do that kind of help you navigate life and certain things that you're going through. So it's basically topic based, where you go in and you pick a topic, and it gives you like scripture and ideas and all of that stuff to help you navigate. So this particular Bible plan that I chose was about creativity. And so I was doing the Bible plan. I can't remember what day it was, but I came across this quote, and it really like stuck out to me because even though it was something, it was had a spiritual background, it really spoke to me on the natural level and with something as simple as creating content. So here's what the quote said, or I took a quote from the plan, blah blah blah. But this is what it says. But here is a secret to breakthrough. Understand that you are creating from journey rather than destination. Don't release your creativity like someone who has arrived, but rather someone who is on a journey. Humble yourself and put yourself out there, making yourself vulnerable to critics. The risk will be worth it. And that spoke so much to me because, like I said, a lot of the times when we're creating stuff, we're thinking about what so-and-so is going to say, or what they're going to think about our content, or is our content up to par, and is it going to reach enough people and all that. But when in reality, all we need to do, if we have this charge, is to create. As long as we're creating and putting information out there that's meant to help people create better lives, meant to help people become better versions of themselves, then why we worry about the critics when we aren't making the content for the critics? We're making the content for that person who needs help, for the person who needs to see someone like them, for the person who is not sure how they're gonna make it the next day, for the person who is insecure. We're making this content for me, in my case, for people who want to lose weight and people who want to have a healthier lifestyle, but they just don't know what direction to turn in. They may not have the confidence to go into a gym, so they're doing workouts at home. So when we're thinking about the negative people, then we're also underselling or undervaluing our own selves, because that's not who the content is for. But even going to the other side of it, where we're creating out of journey rather than out of destination. So a lot of times we feel like we have to have it all together, or we have to, have accomplished the Mecca or reach the destination in order for us to share the journey with people, but in reality, we're supposed to be sharing the journey as we go. We are not expected to have it all together, or we're not expected to have arrived, because then that means we're perfect, or that means we've reached our whatever version of the afterlife is for us. If we have reached the destination, we are not charged, or I should say rather, we are charged with the with sharing the journey, because on the journey is really where you're discovering along the journey. You're seeing what works for you, what doesn't work for you. You're seeing how you can have impact. You have the opportunity to make what's the word I'm looking for? You have the opportunity to make adjustments as you are on the journey. The destination means that you've accomplished it. But really, most people who are also on the journey, they want to see what your journey looks like. They want to see how your journey can help them throughout their journey and getting into their destination. And then you also know, as we grow older and as we transition to different things in our life, we reach, what I want to say is, I'm going to say we level up. So we get to one level, but that's not where we stop at. And then the destination means that's the end. If we reach our destination, that's the end. There's nowhere else to go. But if you're on a journey, let's say you make a stop. That stop teaches you something, and then you go on to your next you go on to your next stop. That stop teaches you something. You learn more about yourself. You learn more about how you are in relationships. You learn more about how you work under pressure. You learn more about how your family influences you and how you can help your family. So each level that we get to, we're supposed to learn something, and we're supposed to help somebody. We're supposed to give that information to someone else as we are traveling to. If we just think about it as destination, then that's a lot of pressure, because then we're constantly working. We're constantly we're not appreciating what we've accomplished if we just have our eye on the destination. If we are more journey based, then we stop and realize how far we've come and what we've learned in the amount that we've come through. So I want to charge you to think about, what have you learned in the journey? What are you at right now, and where you at right now, how you can share, how somebody can benefit from where you are right now, rather than you trying to reach some kind of perfection, or you want people to see that you have it all together, which is all a facade, because none of us have it all together. We're constantly growing. We're constantly learning. We even having to evolve. Even evolving is a part of the journey that we need to acknowledge, that we need to take some time to really appreciate how much we've evolved, appreciate where we've come from. And that also helps us to be thankful for what we have now, and it makes the journey more rewarding, because we know where we've come from. Then we can appreciate when we get to the next level. We can appreciate when we have gotten to that pinnacle, whatever our pinnacle is for us. Then we're able to appreciate, because we know where we've gone through and where we've come through to get to that. So don't release your creativity like someone who has arrived, but rather someone who is on a journey. Humble yourself. Humble yourself. They always say, when you're prideful and you have haughtiness, and when you have the big head, then the fall is much worse. The fall is always harder. You don't have to have that facade like you got it all together, like you've been there, you've accomplished everything, because you don't want to you don't want to fall, and you don't want to fall as hard rather, because there are moments when, of course, we fall, or we're humbled. We have to be brought back down to a level well, we thought we had surpassed, and we thought we were bigger than those people. So we don't want to get there to where we're so big. Always enjoy the journey. Always enjoy what you are going through. Everything, we're meant to go through stuff for reasons. Everything is meant to teach us something, and if we're so busy trying to get to the next, then we're gonna just totally look over what was sitting right here in front of us, and what we were supposed to accomplish. So that was just real good. And even in my own life, I am even guilty of, okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? I've accomplished. Okay, what's next? Okay, I've did this thing. All right, what's next? I actually just realized this, and it was partly because my therapist, she pointed it out to me. But I am one who feels this feeling of, I don't feel like I appreciate enough, and I don't feel like I want to attract abundance, but I don't feel like abundance is, I'm not gonna say that, because there is moments where abundance is just, I'm operating in abundance. I have more than enough to survive and all of that, but I don't feel like I was grateful enough for it, or I was just so busy. I'm gonna say this for example. When I used to run track, particularly when I was younger, when it was time for those medal ceremonies and all of that, I was like, I don't want that medal. Like I like this. I want what's next. I don't want this medal. Like, I used to tell my family, my mom and my grandma in particular, like they have all my medals and all of that stuff. But I used to, just like that medal. It's just like whatever. But I wish I knew at the time that I should have been grateful for my own accomplishment, that I was able to receive that, because now it's just hard for me, this is just all go together. It's hard for me to receive any kind of praise. It's hard for me to look at what I've accomplished without kind of deflecting the praise that I've gotten. And part of me thought that was being humble, but really that has kind of jaded me to gratefulness, and being grateful for what I have, being appreciative for what I have, and understanding that that is an accomplishment. No matter how big it is, it might not be somebody else's accomplishment who has accomplished more than I have, but this is where I am. This is what I have accomplished, and I should be grateful for that. So all that to say that my therapist brought it to my attention that I am not grateful enough for what I have. And when you are grateful for the things that you have, then you're able to attract more, rather than, and I found myself doing this today. I was scrolling on Instagram, and I was like, man, I wish I had X, Y, and Z. And immediately I was like, there you go again, not being grateful for what you have. Because if you were supposed to have that X, Y, Z thing, then you would have it. But be grateful for what you do have right now, because you are blessed, and you have more than what some people have. You have stuff that people wish they have. So I'm able to really be grateful and really look at what I do have in this life and what I have accomplished so far, then that will open up the door for me to attract the things that I do want. I think it was workout equipment. I was like, I can't wait to have such and such workout equipment. I can't wait to train people and with X, Y, and Z and all that. And then I had to think about, how are you utilizing what is at your disposal right now. So use what you have. Come up with ways that you can use the equipment that you do have, and then in due time you will be blessed with the extra equipment or the extra space or whatever it is. In due time you will be blessed with those things. But right now, and I've been seeing it a lot as well, with just people talk about especially successful people, millionaires, people who have successful businesses, all of that. They always talk about how they're grateful for where they are, how they open up the door to even give. It's like, how much are you giving? When you're giving, when you're giving and when you're grateful, that is the two biggest times when the door is open for you to receive more. Because if you're giving, that means you have room to receive if you're giving. And then if you're being grateful for what you have, then you're opening up the door for abundance to come in and give you more. So they both go hand in hand. So I just had to remind myself. I had to tell myself, like, I felt myself. I saw myself have that internal talk, and I was like, no, that's not what we're gonna do. Be grateful for what you have right now, because that time is coming when you are going to have everything that you want as well as everything that you need. So I know this started off as like creativity and all of that, but yeah, we just have to make sure that we're not being greedy and that we are enjoying every sense of life. We are enjoying every bit of it. We are enjoying where we are now, because we're not going to always be in this place of lack or not having everything that we want. So what we have to do is just keep working, keep on producing. No matter what field that you're in, keep working, keep enjoying where you at, because one day you're gonna look up and you are gonna be where you want to be, because you have enjoyed where you were. You've went through the process. You've basically taken your turn of just, working through the ranks, I guess is what the word I'm trying to look for. So also with that, don't fret or don't overlook your small beginnings, because you have to start somewhere to get where you want to be. You don't just start here. If you're not watching, then you don't start at the valley and then just end up on the mountaintop. That's not how it works. We know you have to go through different terrains. The valley is low. You have to go up to a little higher terrain. You may go up to the hill, and then you may be on flat land, and then you may go up to another hill that's a little higher, and then it may plateau, and then you go up into another terrain, and you keep on reaching until you're at that peak. We don't just arrive, and it is nobody's expectation. Or if it is their expectation, that's on them. It's not you. It shouldn't be anybody's expectation that you go from the valley to the mountain. If that is, hey, then that's just their perspective, and they need a perspective shift. But yeah, so when you're creating, just create from a place of journey and not a place from destination, or thinking that you have to be perfect, you have to have it all together, because that's what we really just learn along the way. We don't know when we're supposed to know something until we need to know it. You're right. When we're babies, we don't know that there's going to come a day when we have to fend for ourselves and we have to pay bills and all of that. But when we get there, then we know we have to handle that, So just think about this. This is what I want you to just keep this one sentence with you. Understand that you are creating from journey rather than destination. You don't have to have it all together, and you don't just have to arrive. Take your time, go through the journey. All right. So I hope this was good. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that something I said was beneficial and you're going to use this in your life and helping you to become the best person that you can become. So make sure you share this with others, comment, like, subscribe, leave a rating if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts. And like I like to leave you every single episode, go out there and be rich. Have a great day.